Hello, crafty wenches. I'm going to do a quick demo of one of the cards that we're doing for our November meeting because there's a couple little tricky things that are really hard to write down. So I'm going to make this card, which is kind of like an accordion fold, cool little card that folds up to A2 size. Isn't that lovely? So here's what we are going to need. We're going to need a piece of paper that is 8 3/4 by 5 1/2. And we're going to need the two pieces for the sides, and these are each 1 5/8 by 5 1/8. We need two of them. We're going to need two black strips that are 3/8 inches by 5 1/2. And I've already stamped and die cut out this little symbol that says December 25th. And we're going to use a couple little pieces of gold and black shimmer ribbon and adhesive and scissors and a trimmer and all of that. And there'll be a trick with the trimmer that I'll show you in a second. So the first step is I need to score this base at 2 inches and 3 1/8 inches from each end. So that ends up posing a problem on most scoreboards that are not marked all the way in eighths. Please excuse me while I turn my phone off. So here's what I'm going to do. This is our trimmer. It's the cut rail trimmer. I love this trimmer. The cool thing is, here's the blade. There's a little demarcation here. You might be able to see these two little black lines. It says blade change notch. So if you go to that exact position, the blade pops out. Look at that. It's amazing. And you can buy and put in, this is a scoring blade. So you'll see if I hold it sideways to the camera, instead of a blade here, there's just like a little metal, everything is backwards and upside down and sideways. You'd think I'd be able to accomplish it. There's like a metal loop there. So I'm going to pop this in at that same position. Now this will score and you can use exact measurements. So I'm going to go 2 inches from an edge and just run this blade. You have to do it fairly easily, or you could theoretically cut through the paper. And then I'm going to do it again, 3 1/8 inches. I'm going to pick it up and turn it around and do the same thing from the other edge. So 2 and 3 1/8. Okay, that's it, end of story. Now I can just pop this scoring blade back out again when I'm ready to use this as a trimmer and go back to trimming. I love this trimmer. So once I've done that, I'm actually going to sort of accordion fold this along those score lines. I'm not going to take the time right now to be like super fancy, but you can see what I'm doing. I always have to stop and think, actually cut through this one a little bit. Don't do that at home. All right, so there we go. Ta-da! The rest of it's pretty easy. There's one other little tricky part. So I'm going to show you the other little tricky part is these black pieces. I'm going to want to put these on here, and I'm going to show you on the white paper so you can see they're kind of going to get glued to the back of this main panel, but they're going to overhang a little bit. So there's a nice little black line. So we don't want to put glue on that part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to run adhesive on only half of it. And then I'm going to fold this so I can see where I want it to be glued along. And I'm going to make sure that there's a little bit of overlap there. And I'm going to put this along there. And I'm just eyeballing this. It's not exact. And I'm going to press down. So there you go. So you can see there's like this little bit of a black stripe. And I'm going to do the same thing on this other side. I'm putting adhesive on top of it. And I'm going to leave a tiny bit overhanging, the part that the adhesive is not on. Now, again, anybody who knows me knows that I love this Tombow Dots adhesive. Even if you've got adhesive on the rest of that, you can rub it off because it's just little dots. It's the best thing ever. Now, when I open this up, you'll see 2 black stripes, but when I fold it to make the A2 card, you just have a little black border at the side of each of these. I just think it looks better that way. The rest of it, as I said, pretty simple. I'm going to put adhesive on these stripy pieces. I don't know if you've noticed, I'm going to let you look at my sample again. On this one, I have the stripes going horizontally, and on this one, I have the stripes going vertically. And quite frankly, it's not because I like them better one way or the other. It's because the paper that I had left, I could get more out of it if I cut it going vertically, and I think it looks fine either way, so there you go. You can decide which way you want them to go. All of the measurements for this and the rough instructions will be on an instruction sheet that you get when you come see me on Thursday the 14th to make cards. So there you go. So there's that. And then all that's left to do is I'm going to take these little pieces of black and gold ribbon trim. I'm going to actually use my dot adhesive and run over it about 3 times so that they get nice and adhesive-y. And then I'm going to put them, I almost put those wrong, kind of on top of each other. And then I'm setting this on top of it about where I will want them to be. Again, nothing is exact. Now they're adhered to the back of this. Now I'm just going to take some foam dots. I'm going to do this really quickly so that you don't have to watch me put 8,000 billion foam dots on this thing. When you do yours, you might use a few more than what I'm using. But there we go. Yeah, I just need to peel the sticky off, which if I had any fingernails, I could do. So yeah, when all is said and done, this whole card ends up taking like 5 minutes to put together. I just did the video because gluing this black line on there is interesting, and then the whole bit about being able to score it in the right place. And then I'm just going to center this on the front of here. Mostly center this on the front of here. And there you go. Whole thing's done. Woohoo! Okay, see you all on Thursday.